Dobar dan! Today we are going to learn how to give commands and directions in Serbian. For example, if you wanted to tell someone to sit down or to get straight, how would you say that? Well, you will have to know how to use imperative in Serbian. It's important to know that imperative in Serbian is not a verb tense, like present tense or past tense. Imperative is a mood. In short, a tense refers to time, present, past, or future time, or action. Whereas a mood refers to a manner of expression, or wish, or a command. A mood tells us the tone of the sentence, whereas a verb tense tells us the time of the action being done. Today we are going to focus on imperative and how to give commands and provide directions in Serbian. Before we learn how to form the imperative, it's important that we understand why and how it's used. It's primarily used to give commands or orders, to provide instruction, and give directions. In everyday usage, the imperative is used for giving directions. For example, go straight and make a left. For detailed instructions when cooking or baking, for example, add 2 cups of flour. For warnings, watch out. For prohibitions, don't do that. For polite requests like, please do this for me, etc. I think we are ready to begin. Let's learn. Imperative can be used only for second person singular. Ti. Second person plural. Vi. And first person plural. Mi. You can't really give commands to yourself, first person singular, or to people who are not present, third person singular and plural. All you need to know here is the third person plural, or every verb in present tense, and the imperative endings I, immo, ite, or j, jimmo, jte, and you are good to go. Let's learn by example. Take the verb otvoriti, which means to open. What is the present tense third person plural of otvoriti? If this is a challenge for you, then I highly recommend you revisit the lessons related to forming the present tense in all verb types. If you are ready to move on, let's continue. The present tense third person plural of otvoriti is otvore, as in oni otvore, they open. To form the verb stem, we remove the ending for present tense, which in this case is the vowel e, otvore, and that leaves us with the verb stem otvor. This is our base from which we will add all other endings for imperative. So with our verb stem otvor, we can now give the command to second person singular, which is you, by adding the imperative ending I, otvori, otvori. In an example, this can be used as otvori prozor. Open the window, meaning you open the window. To first person plural, which is we, by adding the imperative ending immo, otvorimo, otvorimo. In an example, this can be used as otvorimo vrata sada. Open the door now, meaning we all open the door now. To second person plural, which is you, plural or polite, by adding the imperative ending ite, otvorite, otvorite. In an example, this can be used as otvorite kutiju odmah. Open the box immediately, meaning all of you open the box immediately. In our verb sample, otvoriti, we use the imperative endings I, imo, ite. But for the verbs that have ju ending in third person plural in present tense, verbs dati, slušati, gledati, we add the following endings. J, jimo, jite. Let's learn by example. Verb dati, to give. Daju, they give, is third person plural. From the third person plural, we omit the ju ending, the present tense ending, and get the verb stem. In this case, it's da. To make the imperative, we then add the j ending for imperative for second person singular, and we get dai, which means give. Let's try this on another example. The verb to listen. Slušati. We need to make the verb stem for the verb slušati. We do that by conjugating the verb slušati in present tense third person plural, which is slušaju. We notice the ju ending for present tense and we omit it. Slušaju. We get sluša, which is our verb stem. To this we add the imperative ending j. Slušaj. And we get slušaj, which is imperative for second person singular. Slušaj sada is how you would say listen now, meaning you listen now. As you can see, the pattern for learning imperative is quite simple. For verbs whose third person plural present tense ends in a vowel, for example, e or u, we drop this vowel ending, the e, u ending, and add the corresponding imperative endings I, imo, ite. For verbs whose third person plural present tense ends in u, we drop the u and add the corresponding imperative endings j, jimo, jite. But what if you wanted to give a command to someone who isn't present? If you are trying to give a command to third person singular, him or her, or child, for example, or third person plural, a group of people, them, to make imperative, you only use neka plus verb in present tense in third person. For instance, if you wanted to say, tell him to buy that, how would you say this? So if we wanted to say, tell him to buy that, we would say, neka kupi to. To means that. It's important to explain what neka means. Though there is no literal translation for what neka means in English, the closest translation for neka would be tell him or her, or let him or her. Kupi is the third person singular present tense of the verb kupiti, which means to buy. The same principle applies if you want to give a command to third person plural, meaning tell them to buy that. Again, we start with neka, which loosely translates to tell or let them. followed by the verb in the third person plural present tense. In this case, this is kupe. So to say, tell them to buy that, we would say neka kupe to. In our next video, we will practice forming the imperative in Serbian. Stay with us! Great job today! See you again!